Okay, so we're going to learn how to color in Vectorworks today. And here's a set of Crimes of the Heart. It is not colored in, it's not the set we ultimately went with, although the set we went with was not hugely dissimilar. So if you checked out the photo archive and said, oh, you can see how I ended up coloring a set that was not altogether different from this, although a little different. We want to take a look at the set. So we're going to run around here in 3D, take a look at the set, and we can see what it looks like. Oh, there's windows floating above, there's a wall, there's a staircase, there's a pantry, there's a door that goes nowhere. I don't know what that was doing there. There's a door here. Okay. And remember, we're going to look at stuff in this in perspective. So we're going to change our projection to perspective. Perspective. Okay. And go, ooh, wow, that's kind of funky looking. Let's adjust our stuff. Okay, and we've done all this before. So we go, oh, and I need to adjust my view a little bit. And that makes the set look really small, so I'm going to use my rendering tools. I'm going to walk through so I can get a little closer. Oh, I'm cutting off a door. Wait. Okay, well, I guess that's what the set has to look like. Okay, I have this all set up. And now let's go ahead and look at it. Remember, we're going to view this in Rendering Fast Renderworks. And it's solid gray. Why is it solid gray? Huh? Nope. I'm outside the theater looking in, and there's a wall in the way. Is that what you said? Okay. So I'm going to go turn my building off. Building walls off. Re-render. Ah, now I have a set. It's not a very interesting set, mind you, because it's not colored in yet. Okay? But this is what we want. This is our view that we're going to come back to. So I'm going to save the view. View, save view. We're going to save everything about this. Oh. We're going to call this classroom. Okay, and this is saved, so I can go back to this view with this rendering at any time. Okay, so let's first just color in some stuff with our attributes. So I want to show you how the attributes work. So we've got the attributes here. The paint bucket is my fill color. I can drop down the menu. Okay, I can make this red. Oh, look, now it's red. And I can make this wall yellow. And it's yellow. And I want to make this wall yellow. And it's yellow. Huh? Okay. And etc. So that's one way to color stuff in. It works. Okay? But like I said, it's kind of like using the 64 pack of Crayola. You have 64 colors, but there's no subtlety, there's no texture. Okay? I think I would like some texture. Okay? So you can open your web browser, open Safari, and I'm going to do a search for yellow wallpaper texture. And images. And oh look, here are a bunch of things. And we can look and figure out what of these do we think are going to tile well. Is this one going to tile well? Why not? It says Shutterstock in the middle of it. Okay?
Ooh, what about that one next to me?
This one?
No, right, yeah, that one.
That one? That one will work well. This one looks like it would probably work very well. What do you guys like? It's a 1950s kitchen.
I like
This one?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to tile well, but we'll see. Okay? Okay? So I'm going to visit the image. Ooh, it's really big. And it has a border. Oh, maybe it doesn't have a border. But yeah, if we look at this side and this side. Huh? I can, but if you just look at this side, it doesn't look like this line's up. Yep. So this is not going to be a good choice. Oh, so sad. Okay. The stripes. View image. Okay, I'm going to save this as, I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Save image as wallpaper. Desktop. Okay. Save as. Now it's on my desktop, and that's all where I need it to be. So I'm going to select one of these walls. Even if it's going to go on multiple walls, the first time you're inserting a texture, you want to just select one. So I'm going to select this wall. Don't save. Okay. And I'm going to go into Object Info. And I'm going to go to the Render tab. Okay. And select the wall part. I want overall. And texture. It says none. Let's find a texture in here that's kind of roughly like what I would like. Oh, how about wood panel? I select that. Couple of things on walls. You are going to have to, so it says overall from wood panel on a wall for whatever reason. That means the very tippy top of the wall where you can't see. So you're going to go to left and say revert to overall, and right, revert to overall. And there it is. There, look, we can zoom in, and there it is, a textured wall. But I don't want wood panel. I want my cheery wallpaper that I selected, right? So I'm now going to use the little arrow to the right, drop down, and I'm going to say duplicate and edit. Duplicate wood panel, birch, unfinished resource, and edit. I'm going to edit that. I'm going to call this cheery wallpaper. Obviously, name it whatever you like, as long as you can remember the name. Okie dokie. Now I get this pop-up menu, okay? Color, image, edit image, okay? I'm going to change my image. This is the change image. I'm going to import an image file. Where was that? Oh, that was on my desktop. Here's my desktop. Down, thank you. Desktop. Bottom one, wallpaper JPEG. Open. Okay, it has now imported that. If it's at the wrong angle, or if, I could rotate it. Oh, I don't want to rotate it. I like it up and down. There we go. Rotate. Okay. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to have to come back over here, and there are a couple things I need to do. Set by image. What this is the size. How big is this? How long across is this? Well, I think that this looks right if this was an 8-foot wall. So I'm going to adjust my line to be whatever size I want it to be. Oh, maybe that's a 10-foot wall. I'm going to say it's a 10-foot wall. 10 feet. I click OK. That is setting the scale properly. Because I've drawn this line. I say that line equals 10 feet. Click OK. When you come back here, this is going to change. I have no idea exactly what this number means, but if you do set by image, you can do it. It makes lots of sense. Okay, I'm going to click OK. And now I have this image in here. Beautiful. Yes?
So you set a stone wall and you import the image over it, would it have texture of the stone wall with the image over it? Or?
The stone wall would be your image. So your wall's not going to actually become dimensional. Okay? And for rendering, you don't need it to be. Making your wall actually dimensional is going to take a lot of resources. It's going to make your files huge. Okay? There's no reason to do that. There's in most cases not a good reason to do that. Okay? Now, do I have to go through that whole import thing again? No, because I select this wall. I'm going to go down and I'm going to go, what do I call this? Cheery wallpaper. Oh, look, it's right here. Cheery wallpaper. It didn't show up. Well, actually it did. If you look right across the top, you can see the orange right along the top. So I need to go and I need to change left. And by the way, left and right is the front and the back of the wall. It depends how you drew it, which is the left and the right. So if you need a wall to be different on different sides, figure out which is the left, which is the right, and then you can do that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But I'm going to say left, revert to overall. Oh, I obviously just painted the back of the wall. Doesn't matter, because you're picking the view. I'm not going to go in your file and go, oh, you have the backs of all your walls painted. I don't care. Okay, I'm just checking your final rendering. Okay, right. Oh, there's my cheery wallpaper. You know what? I love that this wallpaper, the wallpaper goes up and down, but I think on the kitchen wall it should go left to right. Okay? I could go in and create a new type and rotate and all that, or I can come down here and say, you know what? I want this rotated 90 degrees on the wall. Okay? And I hit enter, and oh look, I've just rotated it on that wall because I've just changed the picture. Or, you know what? I think this family put their wallpaper at 45 degrees. I was going to say, that actually does look good. Yeah.
That is kind of
It might work, okay?
And especially with the it's
The-
almost in line
And with the railing. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I need to color my floor in. Okay, so I've got platforms to color, okay? And let's see, we can go look and see if there's something. Oh, there's a whole bunch of wood things pre-built into here. Wood flooring, parquet. Ooh, that sounds nice. Huh? Did you say it's not real what? It's not real butter. No, not parquet. Yes. Okay. Oh, but I don't like that. Let me go find. I think, you know what? This is a kitchen. It should have a tile floor. Okay. So I can do tile floor. Texture. And images. And ooh, which one of these? Ooh. Ooh, which one of these is my tile floor? Would this be a good choice? No. Huh?
What about that one to the left or the up over down?
Okay. Why not? Yeah, it does.
It will.
Because look, this ends right on a corner, that ends right on a corner, this is right in the center. Top and bottom.
It was made for us.
It was made. And I'm not joking, it probably was. This was probably made by someone who put this up. Okay. Nope, it's not a border. So we're going to save as, call this flooring.
And a lot of times when you search on the images, you can just put tileable in there too.
Yes, tileable often works. Okay, so I've got this. And so I've got my wood floor, but I'm going to duplicate and edit. I'm going to call this tile floor. Okay, and I'm going to edit my image. I'm going to change the image, import an image file, flooring. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Okay, okay. Now it's a tile floor, right? So it's probably reflective. So I have a reflectivity drop-down menu, and I have choices here. Plastic, mirror, metallic, glow, glass, backlit. Bricks, noise, pavement, and tiles. Oh, well, it is tile. I have no idea what tiles I do. Transparency, I can set it to be transparent. Is it transparent? No, it's tile floor. Do I want it to be bumpy? Sure, why not? We'll see what that does. Okay? And we're going to say, okie dokie.
Well, that
Wow, okay.
Well,
Orange and green and everything.
I don't know where the orange and green came from, so we're going to go back and edit.
The Grinch just has
It's Christmas. Ah, that might be something with the reflectivity. Let's go set it to just kind of plastic, because plastic is slightly reflective. Could be linoleum. And, oh, you know what I bet it was reflecting?
the wall.
The wall.
Oh.
Okay, I like that, but you know what? It's a little small. So I'm going to go back in. And again, I'm editing it here. I'm editing tile resource because every time I put this in, I want it to be just like this. If I want to just rotate it in one area, then I'm going to do it in the object info box. Let's set by image. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think this whole thing is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's probably 8 feet. Okay, click OK. Oh, that looks better. Now, one of the things I want to show you, I'm going to go to a top view here for a moment. Where's my floor? There's my floor. Okay. Do you notice that it's suddenly on this angle piece changes? Because this floor, these platforms are grouped together. They're not added together. Okay, and that means that it's wrapping this texture around the entire unit. So this is a triangle, and you can see the orange lines, all the different pieces. So what I'm going to do is select this. I'm going to ungroup it, which is Command G, or you can do Edit Ungroup, or where is group? Modify Ungroup. It's one of the ones that I use so much. Ungroup is U, Command U. Ungroup it. And now I'm going to add it together. And now, look, my floor becomes seamless. Okay? So little tip there. Okay? But I haven't done the floor of the stage. Okay? And one of the things I didn't do, I'm going to go back to a top plan view at the moment. Top plan, which is going to take me out of perspective. What I did not do on this set is I did not draw in my floor line. So if I want to draw a floor, if I want to color in the floor, there's no floor. I haven't drawn one. So I'm going to quickly make a floor. I'm going to use my polygon tool, and the floor probably comes like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, and I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along, and like this, and like this, and I do want the tile in the pantry, this, but I don't think I want the tile in this outer room here. And then I'm just going to go under the platform here because I'm not going to see it, right? So I'm going to extrude this. And stage flooring is a 1/4 inch, in case you're curious. So I'm going to extrude that a 1/4 inch. I click OK. Now this is a floor, so I can add a texture to it. And the texture I want to add is, of course, my tile floor. Okay? And let's go back to our view that we saved, classroom view. Okay, look at that. Okay, couple of things. So one problem with this texture, we can already see, is it's got shadows at the edges. Is that a problem? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. Can we still use it? I'm going to still use it. But it came in at an angle because it had to figure out what the best way to do this is. And I don't like the angle. So I'm going to say, I don't know, is it like 30 degrees off?
Is it bricked like that because of the tile texture to it?
It might be because we had a tile. You're right. We added a tile bump to this. So okay, so maybe I need to turn off no bumps. Up. Good eye. Good eye. Look at that. Okay. And I can look at this, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and go, it's still a little crooked, so let's try 28. Almost. That looks pretty good. Okay. What? It's looking pretty groovy. Okay. Oh, this wall obviously needs to have our cheery wallpaper on it, right?
Is this the black box set?
Yep. This has the back wall the same place Boing had its back wall, but we have audience on 3 sides for this set.
Yeah.
These are seating risers. I didn't put the chairs in this one. Okay. And left.
And there is a Vectorworks file that has the L-shaped scene, or no?
Yeah, it's uploaded. It's called your teaser set. It's up in Blackboard already for you.
Where in Blackboard?
Same place.
I was just looking right now and I can't find it.
You can't find it?
Isn't it just under the Vectorworks file?
There's, I mean,
Information. Oops. Content. Vectorworks files. Ooh. Where did it go? Is it in teasers? I will upload it after class again. I swear I uploaded it. Huh?
Maybe Blackboard's still thinking about it?
Blackboard might still be thinking about it. I will upload it again after class. Thank you for noticing that. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting stuff. Now, one of the things I've warned some of you guys about, there's some things that you're going to have a hard time adding texture to. Let's see, cabinets in Vectorworks 2012. Okay, I can't color them. Let's see if I can put a texture on them. Ooh, that birch panel will probably look really nice in the cabinets. Nope. And some things you just can't color, unfortunately. And if you can't color it, then it's stuck whatever color it is. And you have two choices. You can make it, you can draw it yourself. Some stuff you've imported you just can't color. In 2015, there's less of those I've found, but there's still plenty of them. Can I at least do the top? Nope. Can I change the color of the top? Nope. You will find some things you just can't color. Okay. Yeah, you used to not be able to color stairs. Oh, and this wants to be the cheery wallpaper. Okay, so you're going to select all those things, and then I want to show you a couple of other exporting things you can do. Cheery wallpaper. Overall. Okay. Okay, so we've got some basic stuff here. Now, there are a couple renderings. Fast Renderworks is generally what I recommend. There are some other styles. I'm going to zoom back out here so we get a little more view here. Okay. There is view rendering. There is one called Artistic Renderworks. Artistic Renderworks, and we're going to look at the options, but okay, so, we are going to look at the options. So this one, it's obviously selected to render like a pencil sketch, which is all well and good, but not really what I want at the moment. View rendering Renderworks options. Pencil sketch. Ooh, let's see what else I can have. Art. Cartoon. Let's see what art looks like. And again, you sometimes just have to try these and go, ooh, no, that makes everything blue. Don't like that. Rendering, Artistic Renderworks options. The cartoon one actually is not bad. Okay, because it will use your textures, but it does outlines on things, which makes things stand out a little bit more. Okay? So you're going to have to decide what's going to look best for your set. Okay? For example, I know that Garrett has something he's trying to hide on his set. So the outline will outline every object, so that may not be a good, the cartoon one may not be a good one for you, okay? You also asked about OpenGL. OpenGL is really, really fast. And on this set, it's actually not bad. Some sets, you're going to look at the OpenGL, and they're really not very good. So you can try it. There's also Custom Renderworks. or Final Quality RenderWorks. We'll try Final Quality. This is going to take, oh, that was actually pretty quick. Well, I only have a couple things colored in, so this didn't take too much. Okay. Now, couple of rendering tips. Notice what my background is here. It's white. Is white a good background for a rendering? No. So how am I going to fix that? Well, I'm going to go back to my top plan view, and I'm going to put in something large behind it that will just be nice and black. So I'm going to go to Basic Tools and put in a wall. I actually usually just do a big rectangle and extrude it like 20 feet and color it in black. And now when we go back to our view, pretty. Your seating should already be black with purple seats on it. I like the purple seats because the black seats didn't show up very well, so I made them purple. But again, you can select things, and you start to see how this does give us a nice view of what the set's going to look like. Okay. There are other options. So even Fast RenderWorks. Well, there's not a Fast RenderWorks option. That's in 2015, I guess. You do Custom RenderWorks with options, blurriness, anti-aliasing, lighting options. How bright do I want it to look like? Indoor, electric. You can just click, and again, click on things, and try stuff. Ooh, you know what? I think the lighting for this show is going to be more of a kind of sepia colored. I can actually put that in there, and I'll go all high. Oh, that still didn't take long. On Still Life with Iris, I had some very shiny objects. I could figure out why it was taking forever to render. Let's go back and make the floor shiny, just so we can see what happens when the floor is shiny. Reflectivity. Oh, something shiny like mirror. Okay. Notice it is now literally so reflective it's a mirror. We can't even see the tile texture because it's gloss. Okay? Okay, so that may not be a great choice. How about mirror? Let's try metallic. Okay? Now I can see, yes, it's there, but it's shiny. Okay? I tend to use plastic a lot because it's got just enough shiny to it. Ooh, what does glass do? I think glass is... shiny, but not as shiny. And what's the right answer for what you're doing? Whatever is working for you. Okay? Do any of you need to create a transparent wall for your set? Or a scrim? You need a scrim? Okay. The good news is if you're using 2015, there's a scrim button. I can't tell you how happy that made me. It's back to plastic. Okay. However, if you're not using 2015 and you need to make a scrim, so I'm going to draw in a scrim here. So I'm going to go, and for whatever reason, there is a scrim on this set. No idea why, but there's a scrim on this set. And there's a scrim on this set right here. Okay. 0.0125. And it's 8 feet tall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it's a gray scrim, and I'm just going to color it gray. Okay, and we're going to go back to our rendering, and we're going to take a look at it. Oh, I probably have to do a texture. Well, anyway. Where's that box? Here it is. Okay? It's a gray object. I am going to have to do. So I'm going to have to go do something. So I just want a gray texture. And I'm going to say gray texture. Images. And I just want something with some texture. Sure. Image. Save image as scrim. Okay, so I'm going to come in, and like we've done before, I'm going to select something. Sure, tree wallpaper, duplicate and edit, scrim, change my image file. By the way, I just want to show you, okay, if you're not using an image, you can use a color. And then you just select a color, edit, and you pick a color. However, I'm going to go back and do my image. I generally think the images look better. Okay, and I'm going to set by image, and I'm going to set this to be 9 feet tall. And now I'm going to set my transparency. There are several of these. There are pre-built ones, so I can do a glass transparency, and we can take a look and see what that's going to look like. Okay, when I zoom in, oh yeah, that kind of looks like I'm looking through glass. Okay, so if I wanted to make grass, that's not quite what I want though. So let's reset this. And we're going to change it to, we can do color. Edit. And every place it's like that, it's 60% transparent. Okay, and okay. And that wasn't very transparent. So let's work on that a bit. Okay, and a lot of this is going to be guess and check. You're going to play with an attribute and say, oh, what does that do? Oh, that one worked. Okay, what? It's very scrimmy. There we go. I have just created a scrim. Okay? And some things you may find, and I wish I had an answer for this. Oh, you know what else I need? I need black underneath my floor. I'm going to go back to a top view, and I'm going to do another big black floor. And watch this. I'm going to extrude it, but I'm going to extrude it down. Negative 0.25. Okay, and now I've created a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to make it black or really dark something. And now when I go back to my view, okay, notice now I've got a floor, everything's feeling grounded. Okay. With my scrim in there. And you can check sometimes in some views, decide what if you like Artistic Renderworks, OpenGL, Fast Renderworks, because I just want to show you that in Artistic Renderworks, the scrim is going to probably look different. Yeah, the scrim now has an outline around it. If I like that, great. If I don't like that, well, then maybe I don't like that. Okay? So you're going to have to start adjusting things. And whichever view you think you like, stick with it. Make a couple of things, like if you've got a scrim, if you've got something that's really going to be tricky to render, do that, or something that's transparent or reflective, do that first. Play with it and look at it in Artistic Renderworks and OpenGL and Fast Renderworks and Custom Renderworks and whatever. Find the one you like, and then as you're doing everything else, stick with that rendering style because some of those things just don't translate well between them. Okay? I found when we were doing the backlit walls for Mom's House and Still Life with Iris, I think I ended up using fast Renderworks. And usually for Janine, I like to use artistic Renderworks. She seems to like that rendering style more. But I could not get the walls looking as glowy and transparent as I wanted in artistic Renderworks, which was kind of sad, but that's what it was. Okay? And you're going to have to play with stuff. Okay? Do you guys have things I didn't show you that you want to know how to do? Okay, I will also answer Vectorworks questions.
Well, so okay, I'm trying to decide what scene to show from Irma with my rendering, because there's like the part where the bookcase rotates into like the cage. There's a part where the mummy case opens. Like, do we have to put all of that into Vectorworks the way that everything opens?
No.
Okay.
But what you're going to need to show. I believe for your final for Irma Vep, you have one hand rendering that's due, and I think 2 digital renderings. What I would recommend is that you choose 3 different moments of the play, and so because the bookcase opening is kind of a big deal, you probably want to make sure, if I were you, I would choose one scene from Egypt, because I think everything just rotates and there's your Egypt. And then 2 different moments, maybe the bookcase opening and the mummy case opening from England, and then because then people will be able to see what the bookcase looks like closed and what the mummy case looks like closed. Does that make sense? So choose your renderings that you're going to show, so between the 3 of them, you're showing off everything. And here's the thing: if it's really important, what you're required to hand in is a minimum. So if you say, you know what, for me to really show you the renderings of this show, I have to do 15 renderings, then guess what? You have to do 15 renderings. If that's what it takes to communicate to a director. Okay? And there are shows where I have to do lots and lots of renderings so I can show the director, hey, this happens, then this happens, then this happens. And sometimes it's like, and here's a rendering. Boeing had 1 single rendering because it didn't need anything else. I take that back. It had 2. It had one with the sliding doors open and one with the sliding doors closed. That was my 2 renderings for that show. Okay.
My other question is when I built my picture frames off to the side
Uh-huh.
in the structure, I grouped them together, and then I didn't realize that the bottoms of all of them were not quite the same level. So then when I rotated it and put it into the wall, like where
Uh-huh.
it needed to be, some of them were like underground.
Well, no one can see underground. So as long as that's excess, you're good.
But there's a couple of mine, the bottom part of the picture frame got cut.
Ah. So then
But I need to like ungroup them.
Ungroup them.
And then regroup them.
Or actually a better way to do that is, so let me group a bunch of things and show you here. I'm going to go up into top view. I'm going to group, so I just group this set of platforms.
0 on the x-axis.
Yeah, but what I'm going to show you is, so I'm going to group these objects. So they're now grouped, okay? If I want to edit the group, I could ungroup them and edit them individually, or what I can do is I can double click on the group. I'm now in the group. So I can edit this, and I don't have to worry about, oops, I can select, okay, I just want to move this staircase over here, get aligned with that corner. Okay, now I can click on this stuff over here all I want, but it's not part of the group, so I can't edit it. So I don't have to worry about moving something I didn't mean to move. And then when I'm done, I come over here to the upper right-hand corner where it says Exit Group, and I exit group. And I can tell I'm in a group or I'm inside something because there's an orange border around Vectorworks. Now I exit group, and now, look, things are the way they need to be. Does that make sense? So double-click on a group, and you can go in to edit it. And groups nest, so if you group things within there, then you can double-click on that and get into that. And you might have to exit like 15 times to get back to the real world. Okay? You can also, by the way, do that. I just want to show you guys, since this is a question that may come up again. So our platforms that we merged together, Okay, I might need to edit them. So I can double click on them and say, oh yeah, I want to change this. Yeah, I don't think I want that there anymore. So I can delete it. And now when I exit, okay, or I'm going to undo that. Or you know what really needs to happen is, I don't know, this needs to stick out even farther because that would be a good design choice. Okay, any edits I make while in there get taken into account when I exit. Okay, and just so you can see that even our texture is going to work, I can come back here and, oh yes, look, there it is. Okay. When you're selecting your views, select a really good view. You know what? That might actually be a better view of this set. It's a little more off at an angle. Okay. Straight on from the center is rarely an interesting view on a show, at least when I'm designing it. I usually find things are much more interesting if they're off to an angle. A lot of directors like to see a little more floor than you can really see because it helps them figure out where things are, or you can show less floor. We need to export this, right? Because I'm not asking for a Vectorworks file on teasers. I don't care about your Vectorworks file. I've had a couple students say, ooh, I'm going to only use Vectorworks for part of this and I'm going to use some other software. Fine. Okay. So I've decided this view is what I want. I'm going to save this view. View class 2. But I need another black wall back there. So I'm going to go back to my top view. And here's my back wall. Copy. Paste. Rotate. And we're going to get this in here. Okay. And I'm going to go back to classroom 2. Yes, this is the view I want. This is exactly the way I want it. Obviously, I'm missing a person. Obviously, I don't have everything colored in, etc. Okay, but this is exactly what I want, so I now need to export this. Export, image file. Select your image file type. First thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a marquee. That is a box. Draw a marquee, draw it around what it is you want exported. Okay, and it will only export that. That's what I want. Okay, file type. If you're using 2012, it defaults to JPEG 2000. JPEG 2000 is a lousy file format. Do not use JPEG 2000. JPEG is a wonderful file format. We like JPEG. Okay, we also like TIFFs.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll open on both a Mac and a PC.
I use PNG open.
Does PNG open well on a PC? Oh, I guess it must if you're using it.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to just do JPEG. You want to set your resolution. Make sure your resolution is at least 200 pixels per inch. Okay? Because it needs to be. Your print size, I just like to set it so it'll fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So if I set that to 8, so it's going to be 8.5 by 11. 8 by 11. Okay, we'll set this to 10. Okay, that'll print out. You can have it rendering. I usually don't because that takes computer resources. And so I'm going to hit save. Save. And I have to name it on the desktop. Sure, that's a good name. And then I have to wait for it to render. Oh, that was pretty quick. Yours will not be rendering this fast because you will have a lot more stuff in yours. Desktop. Crimes of the Heart. And there is a JPEG rendering of my set. And I go, that's awesome. That's exactly what I want my set to look like. This is not exactly what I want my set to look like, but it's not bad. Okay? So you can export it. Okay? Now, here's the cool thing you can do, what I want to show you. I'm going to take my JPEG, and if you're in the Idea Lab, they have Photoshop. Photoshop is an excellent program, which I don't own. But I do own a program called GIMP, which is poor man's Photoshop. And GIMP is free, which is what I love about it. Okay? And GIMP is available for the PC as well, right, Austin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Linux and
And Linux, and it's like any operating system you have. Okay. I'm opening GIMP at the moment, and GIMP is taking a while. That's strange. Oh, there it goes. Okay. And here's my file. So I may want to do some things to it, like say, put in some shading, or put in some text, or, is this my text tool? Yeah. I can write Crimes of the Heart. Crimes of the Heart. Set by Christopher Boltz. And I want to make that font bigger. And I want to make it red. I don't know why. And I want it to be a different font. I'm going to change fonts. There we go. Oh, there we go. Here's my list of fonts. Let's see. I want it to be Draft Punk. Draft Punk Medium. Okay, so I put that on there, and maybe I want to color something in or draw something, or use my paintbrush and draw. No. Oops. Saving, select. How do I unselect? There we go. And I'm going to draw on a green circle because that would look really cool. Not really. And I can create some shading by creating a new layer. And I'm going to fill this whole layer with black. This whole layer with black. And make it somewhat see-through. Okay, and now that I have blackness there, I can go through with an eraser tool, and I can say, okay, I want to erase the set. I don't want to erase the set. I want to make the set more visible, where the action's going to be. Brush size. There should be. Yeah, I'm used to having this open with multiple monitors, so I suspect a lot of my stuff is hiding.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah. But you can start. Yes, where is my slider? But yeah, you can. Basically, one of the ways I create shading is I put a black layer over everything, and then I color out the spots where there's light. And I can get to my nice big brush, so I can do like giant cones of light coming in, beamage and stuff. Play with it. Make it look good. If you don't want to do Photoshop, just turning in the basic image is fine. If you want to add stuff to it, you can use Photoshop, you can use GIMP. If you have other software, if you're good with Illustrator and somehow that's going to work for you, great. If you're good with Microsoft Paint, I won't make too much fun of you. Okay. Play with stuff. You can also run. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to just delete that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. You can also run filters, which I actually rarely use. Filters. And say, oh yes, I need this to be Ooh, lens flare. It's a George Lucas film. Cha-ching. Okay. Yeah.
It's modern day Star Trek.
Or the modern, or J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Okay, why didn't it drop?
They put it on the bottom layer.
Oh, put on the bottom layer. Ah. There it is. Oh yeah, because that's just what every set needs. And you know, I want it to look like I actually did this with Is this a pastel tool?
Maybe artistic? I mean, back to the
Yeah. Oh well, it should be a, you know, oh, it should look like it's on canvas. Oh, much bigger. There we go. Up and that one to that one. Okay, but I can combine these things and make it look the way I want it to look. Okay, remember, why do we do these artistic renderings? Because Chris told us to. Now, what is the real purpose of doing them? For communicating your ideas to the director. Okay? Yes, that's what's important, is that we're communicating our ideas. And if a lens flare, you know, if I'm designing for J.J. Abrams and he's doing the next Star Trek film, I'm going to put a lens flare in my rendering, because that's going to be what's going to make it look good to J.J. Abrams. Okay? If I'm doing Steven Spielberg, I'm going to stick a T-Rex in. I don't know.
E.T. right?
But what you need to do is you need to figure out how to communicate your ideas. If someone's whole scenic design looked like a work of art, maybe putting a canvas filter on it wouldn't be a bad overall as your presentation. Maybe you want to create a border around your whole image that you're handing in. Okay? And again, you can do this in Photoshop. You can also, in the real world, you guys have to do digital images. You guys have to find a way to do it digitally, because you have to hand that in digitally. But in the real world, you can print it out and actually put a border around it. You can do all kinds of things, you know. If you forgot to do a person, you don't want to go back into Vectorworks, you can import a person into your Photoshop and stick them on there. Like I said, I have a friend who in his early days did a Frank Sinatra, and now he's got Frank Sinatra built in Vectorworks so he can import Frank Sinatra into all of his sets. There's always Frank Sinatra. Hey, you know what? There's Frank Sinatra. That's his thing. The lens flare actually looks kind of cool with the pattern. Bad, Chris. Okay, huh? No. Okay, any other questions? Make sure, for your stuff, make sure your stuff looks good. Okay, if you're not putting your name in the file in the image, make sure your name is in the, make sure I know what show it is and your name. So like, since we have two people doing bitter cold, and two people doing D20, we got to make sure that that's, you know, Emily-D20-1, Emily-D20-2. Austin can be D20-Austin-1, whatever. Okay.
So we're doing 2 digital renderings for teasers?
Yes.
Okay, and
They're the same set, so from different angles.
or yeah, different points.
Yes, I don't promise that I'm going to display both renderings. I may just go, wow, this one's really amazing, and this one's nice. But you know, if you want to be included, yeah.
Is it like the same thing with Vec, where we really don't have any limits, or do you want us to design it for the purpose of a 10-minute thing that's within others?
Oh, you have no limits for teasers. You have no limits except that theater and that audience configuration. Okay. Yes, a couple years ago we had a show that was set in the swamp, and the student who did the set for it had moss hanging from the grid, built it up so they could have a river running through it. They built up platforming because I wouldn't let them dig a hole in the set, but they had running water, and yes, you are not bound by the fact that you have to change the set out in 30 seconds. You are bound by the room. Physics as it exists in that room, but if that was the only show in there. Okay?
Are the catwalks in the puzzle?
Yes. So is the pipe, the lighting grid. Okay. Any other questions? I'm going to stop the video. Okay, I'm going to stop the video. Stop the video.